It's been a little while since I've shared a Mindful Monday video, and I was even thinking of letting this series go, and then I heard it calling me. Yes, I'm kind of weird like that. So after a few days, I decided to give in and continue with the series. This is the first Mindful Monday video of 2026. So I felt that it was appropriate to feature Zentangle's Tangle of the Year for 2026, and that tangle is Tripoli. Tripoli is a fun tangle, and what makes it so fun are all the ways you can decorate it. Tripoli is just triangles that are drawn with lines that aura the triangle next to it. Just triangles. Super easy. Hello, precious friends. Welcome to this video and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Brenda Campbell. I'm an artist and a certified Zentangle teacher. If you're already a friend, thanks for returning. I'll be your guide as we go through the 8 steps of the Zentangle method of drawing. This is a practice, one that allows us to slow down and savor the moment. This is one way to practice mindfulness, and I believe it is magic because it has truly been a blessing in my life. If you're looking for some Zen or you're looking for inspiration, I hope you find it here. And I also hope you'll grab a pen and paper and draw along with me. So what do you say? Let's practice mindfulness together. Before we start with the 8 steps, let's take just a quick moment to talk about the materials and tools I'm going to be using today. This is a very simple practice. It's one of the many benefits of the Zentangle method. But as you see, I don't have very many supplies here. I have one Zentangle tile. This is their classic 3.5-inch square Zentangle tile. I have one pen. It's a black Micron PN pen. You can use any pen. Use your favorite pen. Use whatever pen you have. You can use whatever paper you have. You don't have to have a Zentangle tile. The purpose of this is to create a practice that brings us mindfulness. So the easier and the simpler it is, the better it is for all of us. I also have a pencil and a tortillon to blend out the graphite that I'm going to be laying down with my pencil. You can use any pencil. If you don't have a tortillon, you can use your finger, you can use a Q-tip, whatever you think you need to blend graphite, or you can just skip the shading, although it's always better to add it. So these are all of the materials we're going to be using. And so now I'm going to go ahead and clear my space as we get ready to begin with step 1, gratitude and appreciation. In this step, we are simply going to slow ourselves down and bring ourselves into the moment with some deep breathing. So let's begin with 3 big breaths. Breathing in, filling your lungs, and breathing out slowly and completely. And again, filling up and emptying out. One final big breath in. And slow breath out. Take a few moments to let your breath fall back into its natural breathing rhythm. Don't direct it, but just pay attention to it as you breathe in and out. try to bring yourself into this moment with every exhale. Just pay attention to your breath. If thoughts sneak in, as they will, that's totally fine. Just notice them, acknowledge them, and let them go. And then just return your focus to the breath. Now just take a moment and think of something that makes you smile. And once you're smiling, I want you to pay attention to how this feels. This is gratitude. And just enjoy this feeling. And remember it as we draw today. There will be times that you might just need to stop and take a breath. Focus back on your breath and remember this feeling of gratitude. And then you'll be ready to go back to drawing. And let's just take one final big breath in and slow breath out. And that, precious friends, is all there is to step 1, gratitude and appreciation. Step 2, we're going to use our pencil and we are going to put a dot in each corner. Step 2 are corner dots. Step 3 is a border, and we create our border by connecting our dots. And these do not have to be straight lines. There's my border. Step 4 is a string, and a string simply separates the space on our tile and gives us a place to put our tangles or our patterns. Today's string is going to be fairly simple. I think I am just going to draw a curvy line up and then another, let's see, I'll do another line with just a little bit of an arch. So there's my string. It's different. We'll see how things work out with this, but I think it might be fun. So I'm going to go ahead and put my pencil away. I'm finished with that for now, and we are moving on to step 5, which is the tangles. Now I'm picking up my Micron PN pen. You can use any pen you like. I like these Micron PN pens from Sakura because they have a plastic nib. That's what PN stands for. And it is a little sturdier than some of the other nibs. And so it works better for me. I have a heavy hand, even though I'm always working on it. But this makes it a little bit easier, I think, for me to go ahead and to draw without worrying. So we are going to begin with the tangle Tripoli because this is the tangle of the year. And I think what I want to do is put our feature tangle into this big section right here. So I am going to start on the side, And I am going to draw my first triangle. Now mine does have a corner or a side that is a little bit curved, and that is okay. They don't have to be completely straight. But you see now I have ordered this line to make my next triangle next to it. And I'm just going to create the second triangle. And then you can take any other line and create your next triangle. I'm not always very good at making my triangles all the same size, but I'm going to try today. Just remember there's no right or wrong way to do this. I'm using my string line to kind of give me a border here on the sides. So hopefully I'll be able to continue with that. I'm going to come back down here and kind of going around this loop that I made, so my triangle shapes may be a little strange. Let's see, let's do one here next. And I'm just going slowly, one triangle at a time. And I'm just kind of moving around my tile in the space. So in order to fill my space up here and not have any partial triangles, I made these all a lot smaller, and that is totally fine. Remember, there are no mistakes. You can make this pattern your own and use it to fill in your space, whatever way makes you happy. You also may notice that I continue to turn my tile as I draw these triangles. And that's just because it's easier for me to draw a consistent line if one, I can see the aura if I'm doing an aura, but also it just is more comfortable for my wrist. And so that's why I do it. That one was bothering me a little bit. So there's my AAA. It looks kind of strange going around this loop, but I assure you it's going to be just fine. And I am going to decorate, but very, very simply. And that is a dot in the center of each triangle. That's all the decoration I'm going to do. Some of my triangles are pretty tiny, so any more than this would really get busy and difficult in the smaller triangles. It just gives it a little bit of interest, nothing too terribly crazy. But you wouldn't even have to decorate if you didn't want to. And there is our tangle AAA. Now, the next tangle we are going to draw is Doodah. And that's because I just happen to enjoy this tangle. And it is going to aura, it's going to start with a line that auras this side of my AAA. So I am just going to draw this aura line. I'm going to turn my tile as I go. Make it a little easier. Okay. Now I'm going to aura this line I just drew. I think I'm going to go up this time. Sometimes that's a little easier for me. And we're going to aura one more time, only I'm going to pull this aura away from the last one. And one more aura. Your line can be any shape for this tangle Doodah. This is a border tangle, a vining tangle. Pretty simple. Again, we're going to keep it simple on our tile today. Now I'm going to start over here, and Doodah is just a tangle that is a series of straight lines. Now from the top I come down, but I do not touch the bottom. I leave space there. The next one I'm going to start below the top line and bring it down to the bottom line. And then I repeat. Now, because my line is not straight, it's going to be important for me to turn my tile as I go. And you want to just go slowly here. And remember to breathe. And just focus on one line at a time. As Rick and Maria will say, anything is possible, one stroke at a time. And there's my doodah. Now the last thing I want to add, the last tangle, is the tangle jetties. Jetties is a circle tangle, and I thought it would be fun to add it because we've got triangles, we've got straight lines, and we've got, if I add jetties, we'll have circles. So the other thing about jetties is we're going to get a little bit of drama, and you know I love drama. So we're going to go ahead and draw our jetties on this side of doodah. And let's see, how do I want to do this? I am going to go ahead and start right next to my doodah line with my first circle. Then I'm going to draw another one, and I'm keeping all of these close to that line of doodah. I had a little loop there in my border line, but as you see, I simply ignored it. And that's why we draw it in pencil. Think of it as a suggestion. Okay, I think we're going to just leave it with one simple row of jetties. Now, jetties may look like tipple to you, which is simply circles. You could draw jetties just like you draw tipple. You can draw it where they just touch each other and then you've got spaces in between, or you can draw them as if they're going behind each other. And so today I just drew them simply touching each other in a row against my doodah. That's just one way to draw it. Now the next step, once you've got your circles, is to draw a band across the center of each of our circles. I round these lines because that gives my circles some shapes like a round orb instead of a flat circle. And I'm going to go ahead and put an aura on each side of that stripe. Now I like to alternate the direction these stripes go as well. And I like to put the big wide band first because then I can decide, like here, there's not a lot of room there, but I'll just draw my aura inside the band. Just makes the band a little smaller, but it's totally fine. Again, altering the direction of my band. Okay, now we have all of our bands, and we're going to bring the drama in by filling in the bands with solid black. Now, if you want, you can add or leave a little bit of a white space in the center of the band, and that is going to act like a highlight, like a reflection. You don't have to do this, but you can if you like. And I just like to leave the scratchy edge on my highlight, but you could draw straight lines and make it a little more structured. Went over my band there a little bit, but remember, there are no mistakes, so I don't care. Okay, just came to me. This might be a little strange, but I think I'm going to put a jetties inside. Just one single jetty. So, inside that loop we made. Don't know why, but that just came to me, so we'll see how it looks. Unplanned. Okay. I think that's all I'm going to do for my tangles. So we are finished with step 5, and I'm putting my pen away, and I'm picking up my pencil again for step 6, which is the shading. Now, I am going to begin shading my doodah. It's very simple. We are going to just add a little bit of graphite inside the aura line. And we're going to do that on both sides. I'm kind of using the side of the tip of my pencil and small circular motions with it, if you will, to get that graphite down. Okay, now I'm going to grab my tortillon to blend it, and I am going to use the same motion, the side of the tip with a small circular motions, and I'm kind of pulling it inward away from that edge of the aura. I'm not pulling it too far, just a little bit, just kind of blending it down just a touch. And you can see as we blend it in on this other side that there's this light band in the center, and that kind of acts as a bit of a highlight for us. And if you want, you can blend this out a little farther, but you really want to make sure you still have some white. You don't really have contrast if it's all dark. So that is our doodah. Now I'm getting my pencil back out, and we are going to do jetties next. And jetties, I'm going to turn it upside down, I guess, considering there's no up or down, but I'm looking at this as the bottom. So there's my orientation. And I'm going to add some graphite to this bottom side of each of these jetties. So that's why I'm turning it upside down, and that will help me. And I'm just adding a little bit on the bottom of it. Doesn't really matter where, but it just goes somewhere on the bottom, whatever side you can put it at. It does cover the band as well. Okay, now I'll get my tortillon back out, and I will blend. Now, the caution here is that you don't want to put it over the black, because it won't get the black darker. Black's already as dark as it's going to get. So once I have that dark bottom, then I try to put a little bit, just with what's on my tortillon, around the perimeter. That gives it a little bit of shape. But the opposite side is a little lighter. So you have a darker side and a lighter side. At least that's the idea. That's not too bad. Oh, I got one more here I forgot about. Forgot about my little jetties in the center. Okay. Okay, so there's my jetties. Lastly, I'm going to shade my triple E, but I'm going to shade this differently than I usually do. This time, I'm going to add the graphite to the background. and blend that out. Trying to be careful not to add too much. Okay, now I have a little bit of graphite in each space. Well, a little bit. That's okay. We don't want too much. And I'm going to try to blend this out to keep it in the background and not have it cross over into the Tripoli triangles. And that gives us quite a bit of contrast in this pattern, in this tangle. All of the triangle spaces of our Tripoli are white, and all of the background is a darker shade of gray. Remember, shading, step 6, is really about contrast. Not necessarily about shading like a shadow creation, something you might do in a fine arts class, but this is just simple shading to add contrast. And interest. The contrast makes our tiles interesting, makes our art interesting. So we've got all this contrast in our Tripoli, and then we've got all of the drama from our jetties with the solid black. And those are the things that make our compositions a little more interesting. Still keeping it very simple. Overall, the patterns are easy and simple. The shading is easy and simple. This practice is about the journey, not the destination. Or, in this case, it's about getting through this mindful practice. It's not really about the pretty art we get, but that is like a benefit, side benefit, if you will. Is that good enough? That might be good enough. I don't know. I think I'm going to add, I'm not adding graphite. I'm just using the graphite left on my tortillon, and I'm very lightly adding a little bit of graphite around the outside of each of our triangles, or on the edges anyway. And I believe that looks just fine. So I am done with my tortillon and my pencil. We are finished with step 6, the shading. I'm picking my pen back up, and we're moving on to step 7, which is initial and sign. And I am going to use my new chop, or I should say a new chop. I'm trying out some new chops. A chop is basically an artist mark. Oftentimes it is a stylized version of initials, but it doesn't have to be. So in my case, I'm going to start with my B for Brenda. And then I am going to mirror my B, and it kind of looks like a little butterfly. And then I am going to draw my C as an aura around my little butterfly. So my BC, there's my chop or my initials. And then we flip our tile over. And on the back, we have these nice lines that Zentangle has provided. I'm just going to sign my name. I always date it, but I'm going to do that off camera. Please remember to date your tiles because you'll want to go back someday and say, oh, wow, I did this a year ago. Look at how different it is from today. And you can put any other notes that you want on the back. I'm going to leave mine pretty simple today. That is my word of the year, simplify. And so there we have our first tile, our first Mindful Monday tile of 2026. Step 8 is the last step in the Zentangle method, and it is simply to sit back and appreciate again. Appreciate that you took some time for yourself. You brought a little mindfulness into your day. Appreciate this fun little piece of art that you drew. Maybe this is something new and you can appreciate that you learned something new. I appreciate each and every single one of you, and I am blessed to have you here watching. So thank you as always, and I'm going to leave you with this one thought. Remember to be you and be happy.